Hi everyone, it's Guy with SeriousWatches and it's our first video of the year, and let me start by wishing you a happy, healthy, prosperous new year. It's going to be a good year, it's going to be hopefully better than 2020, and to start off the year we thought it would be fun to make a list of our best-selling watches of 2020. Just like, you get your Spotify list at the end of the year to see what Katy Perry song you probably have been listening to the most often. I'm looking at Connor here because I know he's a big Katy Perry fan. So we compiled a list of the watches that we've sold the most in 2020. Now, we're not the sort of company that really looks at that sort of thing very often. We're not really one of those companies that are all about return on investments and statistics and stuff. So we tend to look at it, what is a good watch and do we want to offer it? But lists are a lot of fun, so we compiled a list of the 5 best-selling watches of 2020. I do need to mention that we left out certain models where we've got like a same watch selling very well in different colorways, so we did compress it a little bit, but other than that, this is our top 5 best-selling watches of 2020. Coming in at number 5, unfortunately, as I suppose makes sense since it's such a good selling watch, this watch is actually sold out. We do expect some more stock to come in 2021, but it's the anti-age Naken Modern Blue, which is obviously the blue variety. And this comes back to the point where I compressed the list a little bit because it comes in 4 different versions: 2 with date, with the Beats of Rights bracelet and the Oyster bracelet, and a version without the date, also on Beats of Rights. And we've compressed that into one single model, the Naken Modern Blue. We're not really surprised that this watch was among our top 5 because it's just a very versatile, great watch for every day. Given the 40mm case size, that makes a lot of sense. That it works really well on most wrists, and the blue, I have to admit, is very pretty, very sophisticated. So it's a great everyday watch. It's comfortable. So we're happy to have this watch in our top 5. We're hoping to get quite a few more in 2021. And it's a watch I can wholeheartedly recommend to nearly anyone, considering the versatility, the sizing. It's just a cracking watch, and we love NTH, so happy to have them come in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, not really a surprise either, it's the Orient AP0003S. And just let me show you, because this one is actually in stock. It's the small seconds Orient Bambino with a lovely champagne dial. I've mentioned this model before on videos because it's such a cracking, great value for money dress watch that, even if you stretch your budget twice the price that this one comes in at, you're going to be hard pressed finding something as pretty as this one with the dome, mineral glass, applied markers. It's just a very, very pretty model. Again, the sizing is fairly universal, so it works well on most wrists. It comes in at 40.5mm, so it will work on most wrists. Even ladies can wear it, and again, it's just very pretty. It's a nice watch to have in your collection forever, from whenever you want a cool dress watch. One of our colleagues bought it, so it's a stunning dress watch, and this is a model that we do consistently have for sale, and that's one of the reasons why some brands didn't meet our top 5, because they either didn't make enough stock, or we just couldn't keep up with demand, and that's why they didn't end up in the top 5. For example, Zealous is not in the top 5. Well, I'm pretty sure that if they made more watches, we could have sold a lot more of them.
I suppose if we'd done this video down to brand level rather than to watch level, Zealous probably would be in there, but
yeah, but the problem with Zealous, they make relatively small batches. Sometimes they just make like 80 pieces or something of a model, or even less. So the problem with Zealous tends to be that the models, they arrive in stock and they sell out within like a week. So that makes Zealous a very difficult brand to hit the top 5. All of the other brands do make larger batches. Zealous is working on that, and they're making larger batches of watches, so that hopefully next year in the 2022 video we'll have some Zealous watches. Coming in at number 3, again, an Orient. It's the Orient RA-AC0009S10B, which is actually, well, let me just show you the watch. It's this one. It's To be honest, it's a bit of a surprise because it's the 36mm Bambino model on a steel bracelet with blue hands, and I think that really shows the trend we've been seeing in 2020 is that people are buying smaller watches. In as much as men are usually buying smaller watches and women are buying slightly larger watches. So they're all coming together. And 36mm was for a while a rather small size. But if you remember back in the 80s and the 90s, when you'd see someone wearing a big Rolex, it would usually be a 36mm Datejust or Day-Date. Even the example I like to use is that Tony Soprano, the big mafia guy, wears a 36mm Day-Date. And everyone's like, if it's big enough for Tony, it's probably big enough for anyone. So what we're seeing right now is that people are buying smaller watches again, and that's why I think this model was so incredibly popular in 2020. We sold a lot of them to both men and women. So it's technically more of a unisex watch, but it's just great to have a smaller watch. It exuberates a certain style that is completely en vogue again. So Orient, I like a lot of props to Orient as well for trying a 36mm watch, because not many brands are willing to try. They're going 39, 38, but Orient's like, let's just make a good mid-sized watch, and the 36mm, it just works. It worked before and it works again. Coming in at number 2, now things are getting exciting, and this is a model which unfortunately is again sold out, underlining why it's so popular. We do expect more stock of this model in 2021, so it's while I don't have it in hand, we do expect it back in stock. It's the Ocean X Sharkmaster 1000 SMS 1012, which is probably going to be a model that is going to split the general opinion, because some people will think it's too much inspired by another brand, which, I mean, we don't need to beat around the bush. It does sort of look like a Rolex Sea Dweller with the James Cameron dial. And on the other hand, the people that really do enjoy this particular style, and let's be honest, if you go to your Rolex AD and say, please sell me a James Cameron Sea Dweller, they'll probably say, thank you very much, we'll see you in 17 years. Once your place on the list is finally up, which is not going to happen. So if you do like this sort of design, this is a very good choice. A lot of people love it for the great value for money. The quality on there is genuinely very good. The sapphire glass, ceramic bezel, helium escape valve, it's just a very solid, comfy watch. And if you like this particular design, I mean, it's a great choice. The James Cameron dial is just very cool. This is just a cool watch, and a lot of people liked it. Now, I hope that Connor can edit in some sort of fancy drum roll, but our number 1 selling watch of 2020 is the Orient Kamasu with the green dial RA-AA0004E, which is not very surprising, because this watch, I mean, everyone that works at our warehouse probably knows the SKU by heart by now, because it's such a popular model, and quite rightfully so. Let me show you the watch, because it's sort of hard to capture, but it's very sophisticated green dial, which is, we'll add in some vanity shots as well. It's a it's not a cheap green color. It's very sophisticated. The bezel is very nice dark green. It has a hint of blue to the dial, and I think I'm very happy that we have this watch at number 1. Reason being is that Orient really makes great diving watches, very affordable diving watches, and this one it's not your average run-of-the-mill watch. When you see it's something unique, and there's certain models that really do that, sort of like the Seiko Cocktail Time or something, where you see the dial and you're like, wow, that is cool, that is something special. I suppose it's sort of like the X factor for watches, where certain models, you can make a great watch on paper and it's not really that great in real life. This model, it may not work really well on paper, but it does in real life, and a lot of people agree it's a very unique piece to have. Very affordable. It's not perfect, I can say that. You know, it doesn't have a ceramic bezel, it doesn't have solid end link, so it does have some weaker points, but considering the price point and considering the overall looks, and it does have an in-house mechanical movement, it has the it's just a dial that's gorgeous. It does have sapphire glass, by the way, so that's the difference with the old Ray and Mako models. Orion's really a champ in the affordable, unique diving watches alongside Seiko with the SKX, for example. So the green Camaso, it has been a stellar seller. Great watch, very cool, very pretty. And it's just a nice watch to have in your collection. It may not be ideal for an everyday wear because of the unique green color to the dial, so it may not go with your outfit all too well, but it's a nice watch to have and it does stand out. And I mean, we've been selling them for I believe 2 or 3 years now, so they are standing the test of time, at least up until now. We do very much expect this model to sell very well in 2021 as well, because yeah, considering the price point, it's just a very nice addition to have to your collection. Now that's our top 5. I hope you've enjoyed it. I mean, we've enjoyed packaging every single watch that we sent out back in 2020. In 2021, I generally don't know what the trend is going to be. I do think we'll see more smaller watches like the 36 or 38 millimeter watches, where we're really seeing a big trend towards that. The bigger, like the 45, 46 millimeter watches, we're not really, they're selling less and less, but there's still a market for that. I mean, obviously, if you're 7 foot tall, you can't really wear a 36 millimeter watch. So it's going to be an exciting year, but most importantly, I do want to know what your number 1 watch of 2020 is. Which watch do you think should have sold best? So please leave a comment below and like the video and subscribe. We'll be making a lot more videos in 2021, so I look forward to hearing back from you. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.